These are my top 7 things to do in Lima, Peru. So many people visit Peru to go to places like Machu Picchu or Cusco or other places that are a little bit deeper in the Andes Mountains where you can learn about the Inca culture and history and see some beautiful sights. For good reason, of course. These places are amazing. Often you will fly into Lima, a beautiful city that doesn't quite get the attention it deserves, in my opinion, because there are some amazing things to do here, starting with number 1, we're just going to be walking along El Malecon, or in English, simply the pier. Now, El Malecon is a scenic clifftop walkway and walking path that stretches throughout some really cool neighborhoods. It has many parks situated along its path, and it is actually 6 miles long, so you can really walk a long time at El Malecon. And because it is located on the cliffs of Lima, here you get some amazing views of the Pacific Ocean, you can see some people surfing, you get some amazing views of the city on other ends, and it's a really beautiful place to walk around on, especially during the evening and sunset, because you can see the sun setting over the ocean because you're looking west, of course, from Lima. So it is a great place. It is undoubtedly my favorite thing that I did when visiting Lima, but there are some other amazing, incredible things to do on this list, including number 2, which is going to be the Larco Museum. Now, here's a disclaimer. I am not a huge museum person. It is not something I usually like to include on my itineraries when traveling to a new place, but the Larco Museum definitely was worthwhile for me. For one reason, it is many reasons actually, but number 1, it is a beautiful place. So the actual courtyard and areas around leading to the museum itself are absolutely gorgeous. They're beautifully decorated with plenty of flowers and a really nice atmosphere and cool architecture, making it a great place to walk around as well. In fact, it was so great, I almost forgot I was at a museum, but the museum itself was really interesting as well. Because what I love about the museum is, number 1, it teaches a lot about the culture, being the pre-Columbian and Inca culture in the area of Lima, and it does it in a way that's very interesting and easy to digest, giving you some key information without totally overloading your brain. It also has a really interesting sort of erotic gallery, which might be a little bit PG or honestly rated R because things can get pretty explicit in here, but it's a really cool, interesting sort of exhibit that you wouldn't typically see at a museum. In number 3, this is the massive elephant in the room, which is food, because Lima is widely regarded to be the food capital of South America and one of the best food cities in the entire world, because here in Lima, you can get such a wide variety of different foods, being like the ultimate luxurious, like top Michelin star rated restaurants, or some more like, simple, humble food for great prices. And I really recommend you to try some local Peruvian dishes, because for me, myself, I didn't know a ton about local Peruvian cuisine before I went to the country. I knew about things like ceviche, but here you can try things like ceviche, of course. You could try taku taku, which is delicious. You can try causa rellena, lomo saltado, estofado, chaufa. So many different cuisines here, and they were all so delicious and really tasty, and I loved trying out Peruvian food. So make sure to try out Peruvian food and eat as much delicious food as you can in this amazing food city that is Lima, Peru. Number 4 is to explore the Centro Historico, or the Historic Center of Lima. Now, the Historic Center isn't personally my favorite neighborhood, but it's really interesting to check out because it is regarded as the birthplace of Lima. Here they have many beautiful plazas with really beautiful colonial style architecture, and it's a really good place to do some people watching and see what's going on in the hub and buzz with the locals of Lima, Peru. Some noteworthy places to check out in the Centro Historico are going to be the Plaza de Armas, or like the main historic plaza in Lima, Jirón de la Unión, which is actually like a really cool pedestrian walking street with many shops, a great place to do people watching as well. The Plaza San Martín and Plaza Mayor de Lima are just a few places to get your feet wet when walking around and exploring the historic center of Lima. It also provides a cool contrast to other neighborhoods we'll talk about, such as number 5, which is to explore the neighborhood of Barranco. Now, Barranco, disclaimer, is my favorite neighborhood in Lima. It just has a really cool and unique vibe and fun feeling, being a little bit more bohemian, it's described as, and definitely artistic. There's lots of murals to see here, lots of cool little areas to walk around that feel a little bit more young and happening. It also has some really great views of the coast and other parts of the neighborhood as well. Some noteworthy places to sort of branch out from are going to be the Parque Municipal de Barranco and also the Puente Los Suspiros, which is a really cool bridge, which has some bit of interesting, cultural relevance and superstitions for you to check out. So we are at the iconic Puente de los Suspiros, which looks like a little small wooden bridge, and it's super cute, very iconic, nice sights around it, and there's also a little bit of a myth or legend saying that if you make a wish and then hold your breath and walk across it, your wish will come true. So we're gonna do that. I have my wish in my mind, Vanessa has hers. I definitely can hold my breath for at least 10 seconds, so I might have to run to get across it in time. Either way, pretty cool little things to just do and partake in local tradition here in beautiful Barranco and Lima, Peru. Now, number 6 is going to be something you might not typically expect to do in a city like Lima. Maybe you'd expect to do this like in the Sacred Valley, but this is going to be visiting an ancient ruins, the ancient ruins of Huacachina. Now, these are old, pre-Incan ruins that date back to actually like 500 AD, so 1500 years ago. And they're located right in Miraflores, kind of like unassuming. You can easily just walk to them. It's really not even like a day trip or anything difficult at all. And these are sort of like an unfinished or not completely assembled adobe and clay pyramid. And they actually used to have some human sacrifices, it's believed, back in the day. So it's really cool to see this, and it's a really cool contrast to the modern and kind of happened neighborhood that is Miraflores, which is also worth exploring in its own right. And number 7, in case you are more of like a city or metropolitan person, you can go shopping, but not something that are kind of typical. This is a really interesting place to go shopping, which is going to be I always have a hard time saying this word. That way, there's a really famous shopping sort of center called Let me try this again. Get my Spanish tongue ready for my English tongue. Listo? Sí. Larco Mar. Right there. The Larco Mar. Now, the Larco Mar is, I'm just gonna breeze over that, is located on the Malecon, which of course we talked about all the way back on thing number 1. And this is the world's, one of the world's coolest shopping malls, because it's the only shopping mall in the world built literally right into the cliffside. And here you get some, of course, just like the Malecon, amazing views of the coast. It's a beautiful place to go during sunset, and it has a really cool modern feel. So it's worth checking out if you want to shop or not shop. But if you want to shop, this is a really cool, interesting place to do some shopping. Definitely need to check out Larco Mar on the Malecon in Lima, Peru. So that's all for my top things to do in Lima, Peru, everybody. What do you think? Which of these seem the coolest to you? Lima really is a great city, whether you're talking food, especially food, metropolitan city life, history, culture, museums. You can do it all here, and scenic natural beauty as well. Don't let me forget that, because that's one of my favorite things about Lima. So which of these do you want to do when you go to Lima? Which of these have you done? Let me know in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Make sure to check out the rest of my content on Peru. See you in the next video. Peace. I'm announcing the start of a series that has actually already begun. It is the Sacred Valley Adventures, because now we are in the country of Peru. And the kind of content I'm going to be making for our time in Peru isn't going to be just like our typical vlogs, isn't going to be just like, first impressions, which I've already kind of done, but I want to make it really fun and like overarching story, being a big adventure travel series. So that's all for the video. See you in the next one. Peace.